magic of the Cybernet Space Cube, the computer-enhanced podcast of the future. Transformers Slag Podcast.
What's up, everybody? How we all doing this Saturday night? It is the Transformers Slag Podcast Saturday Night live stream main event. I'm your host, Proto Man. I am the face that runs this place. I'm the voice you hear Monday to Friday, and it is Saturday. And you're going to be spending, at least I hope so, the next 2 hours with moi and the robots in the skies. We're going to be talking Transformers. We're going to be updating some of the news we talked about this week. We're going to cover some new stuff that we have. We got some cool stuff in the mail, a butt ton of stuff in the mail from the P.O. box and everything. We're going to talk about future exclusives. We're going to talk about some interesting live streams we're going to be getting in the next couple of days. So we got a lot to cover. It's a busy, busy week. But who's in the chat? Who's in the chat? We got David Cabal, VIP, patron and a YouTube member. We got Cringe McCringle, the king of Target. We got Patrick Brown. We got Tucker. We got Will Murphy. We got J.R. Mina from the Philippines. We got Horned Owl. Nice to see you too. James Hopkins. We got YLAG Y. We got Tucker. Who else we got? We got Modutron. We got Princeton Phalanx 59. T-Formers 2002. I want to make sure I'm not missing any of my patrons too, because I have to look at the ones who aren't the green names or patrons. Orlando Chavez is here. I saw Decepticitty, who's one of my patrons. He's here. Roman Schilling is here. Patrick Brown, I think I mentioned already. Ashnut is here. Rudy Mack. Okay, well, people are still piling in. Got 2 Hasbro people, which if they choose to say hi, that's on them. How we all doing? So we're going to jump into some news. Got quite a bit to cover. Got 2 shout outs. Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm just trying to go through everyone's names are popping up. If I miss somebody, a Fawn Heart, there you go. If I miss somebody, I apologize. I'll definitely catch you later tonight. So we're going to go through the news. We're going to cover some updates, some new stuff, little things I haven't talked about this week. Some stuff that I really feel I want to do more justice maybe on Monday with a full segment because, man, some of the discussions about some of these items. We're going to talk about some stuff we got in the mail. We're going to talk about some exclusives that are going to be happening with the upcoming TFCon in Baltimore. And yeah, no reveals today. Maybe next week. We'll see. But we do have to talk about it. So let's jump into it. Let's start first, of course. So yeah, we got that bad boy right here. Let's talk about the Naruto crossover. Didn't have that on my bingo card, so to speak. So the Transformers X Naruto Shippuden crossover collaboration. This is a Hasbro Cohesion. 40th anniversary of Transformers. 25th anniversary of the Naruto manga all those years ago. Kind of celebrating all of that. I did not expect that to be a crossover, but I almost feel like, let's look at the Hasbro designers and look at what they're doing right now. And you got to make use of molds. And they're like, hey, man, we want to do a Spitor, a Diver at some point for a core class. And, what other frogs could we do? Because there's not much in Transformers. But, hey, maybe if we do a Naruto crossover, who knows if the chicken came before the egg. But either way, we got this. We got this glorious 2-pack. That is obviously supposed to be at least, and again, it's not confirmed. None of the listings have said this, but I assume that the Kurama, the Ninetail, is supposed to be older Naruto from Naruto Shippuden, and the Gamakichi which is the Toad, is a young Naruto from the original run of the manga and the first couple of arcs and stuff. And I think it's confirmed by that really because the Gamakichi, the Toad one, the one that we're going to get as Spitor one day, Comes with the smaller little blade, and it comes with the summoning scroll. So I imagine that's probably more what's going on there. So yeah, it comes with 2 kunais. It comes with 2, as they call it here, chakra plates. Those are those little blast effects that are on the feet of the Ninetales. So now confirmed with this turnaround, none of the stock images show this. Only the turnaround shows this. I'm going to wait till here. So there's a little ball attachment. So there's that circular disc, a ball, and then 2 energy things. The circular disc is the Rasen Shuriken. The little ball is the Rasengan, which they listed, and I didn't see it anywhere in the box or any of the photos, so you could only see it in this spin around here. And then, of course, you have the sword, the summoning scroll, the 2 kunais, and the chakra plates and everything. So you get some little extra here with these turnarounds from Hasbro Marketing. Very, very cool. I mean, look, I watched Naruto back in the early 2000s as a lifelong manga anime fan. I saw its Dragon Ball slash Slam Dunk connections. I know that might sound silly to hear a sports anime kind of have a connection to Naruto, but if you know Hamachi, Rukawa, and Himiko, and then you look at Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, you'll see what I see, and then you'll understand. Clearly, the creator of Naruto was a fan of one of the greatest selling mangas of all time in Slam Dunk and pulled inspiration from that. And then, of course, all the Dragon Ball connections and everything. Again, I like Naruto. It was a good series. It was a good manga. It was very exciting. And something crossing over with Transformers? Sure, why not? Again, wasn't on my bingo card. Definitely wasn't in my top 10 of things that I can imagine Transformers crossing over with. But I like how it got pulled off. And if it's what I like to call a backdoor pre-tool, meaning like if you could use this as another way to also get a Spitor, aka Diver, in the future to be used as a core class, sure, make it happen. I'm fine with that. Mark Morales with the gold super chat. We got 2 ninja collabs where buying multiple copies feels justified. Having multiple kunais can emulate the shadow clone jitsu. It's true, eh? Yeah, you could do the shadow clone jitsutsu. Jutsu. God, I'm kind of out of it today. That's true. And then you could also do the hit him in the anus of the butt. Get me my Kakashi transformer. What would he turn into? What would he'd have to turn into a book or something for the deep cuts. Anyways, what does Mark also say here? Also, Ninja Turtles and Naruto are releasing their own crossover comic. Well, that just makes sense. I didn't even know that was happening. Very cool. I wonder what company is going to be doing that. Is that Mirage? Who's going to be releasing that? Or IDW? Because IDW has the rights, at least still, for this moment. Very interesting. Thank you, Mark, for the gold super chat. Didn't know about that comic. Modutron says we'll probably get it. Well, you know what? This is one where the price is right. I mean, people in the comments have been saying it's Cheetor's size, people and that mold. People are saying it's the Tigatron. I'm seeing conflicting. If it's the Tigatron, if it's Voyager scale, and this is a core class, then the price makes sense for the 2-pack, and that's it. If it isn't the case, then I don't know. I don't know. Like it to me, as much as I think this is cool, this might be more of a wait for sale kind of thing in my case. Let's just say there's a lot more items I'm kind of more interested in dumping my money into. Dare I say items that we will be talking about today. But I still think it's cool. I know there's certain people that I knew in college who are big into Naruto that are excited about this. I mean, I remember going to Anime North in 2002, 2003, which shows how old Proto Man is. But I went to Anime North, which is the largest anime convention in North America, and like Naruto was the hottest thing. There was not a single person with a headband without a headband on their backpack, on their head, on their shoulder, on their wrist. It was crazy how huge it was at one point. It was definitely a phenomenon, if anything. And then it was unfortunately poorly ported. Believe it. But yeah, it was poorly ported. So much like anything, much like One Piece and many others, but let that be a lesson. So very cool. This is up for pre-order right now across all the different platforms, $54.99, and is planned to ship out April 1st, 2025. Is this an April Fool's joke? No, they wouldn't go that far. But it is coming out on April 1st, 2025. Probably will have a retail um, environment also released too, because I know that the Ninja Turtle one showed up everywhere in GameStop. So I would not be surprised if this guy also shows up in GameStop and maybe some other locations too. So stay tuned for that. Now, JT Prime also said that there's others outside of just the Naruto. We have listings for Star Wars, Sonic the Hedgehog, Batman, more Hot Wheels stuff, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and the NFL. Now, you could speculate all you want on how they're going to tackle all of these, except the Star Wars one. That one's pretty obvious from what we've seen in the past. And the Hot Wheels one. I mean, the Batman one is the one that really makes me scratch my chin and go, because that's a dream project for many people. You know, 89 Tim Burton Batmobile Transformer. My goodness, would that sell? That would sell on a level that the Ecto one and the DeLorean could only imagine. So that will be very exciting to see that one if it happens, you know. And then how would you do some of the others? How would you do a Joker, Joker mobile? Take like the Ironhide mold, turn into the Joker? I don't know. Joker van. We will see. But very, very cool. Very, very cool. So keep an eye out for those too. Supposedly, we're going to be learning more about these over the next 12 months. So it's going to be quite a busy next 12 months. But yeah, Batwing would be really cool. Why lag? Why? Especially again if it's that classic '89 Batwing. Good stuff. But we also have again. We talked about this last week. The Walmart Collector Con, and we got some previews that we're going to be talking about today. But we also have to remind people that next week on Thursday, October 17th, not the 18th, but just the 17th will be a Transformer Thursday with Walmart Collector Con with some reveals. Some stuff was already teased and shown, but apparently there's even more. And some of those are these retro-inspired Retro G1 Generations figures. We're looking here first at the gears. I talked about it yesterday in quite deep detail. So if you want like all the side-by-sides, the comparisons, the history, everything that's going on with that, go check out that individual segment I did. But hey, we're going to be getting gears, G1 inspired packaging, G1 inspired head sculpt, G1 inspired coloring, even has that single chrome sticker now as a paint deco hit right down the chest. The only thing that's missing is we didn't get a shot of the inside of that chest cavity, which is probably just molded in color, but we will see. Very cool. I dig this mostly because it opens up the floodgates to what could be done afterwards. And again, here's the Bumblebee. And the Bumblebee, the big takeaway from it, especially is hey, if you missed out on the Netflix one, here's your second chance, but better. If you aren't a fan of the Studio Series 86 one, here's something that'll probably make you more happy. Hey, did you know that the Netflix one doesn't even have the nicer head? This has a new head sculpt and it's more screen accurate. And the paint deco is much more accurate too, not that orangey yellow. So this is fantastic. Again, the only negative is it's going to be a Walmart exclusive, much like the Netflix one is. I'm going to hope that unlike the Netflix Bumblebee, this is going to be probably, shipping in cases of 2, like this in the gears, probably in a case of 8, 4 Bumblebees, 4 gears. I mean, the scalpers aren't going to buy 4 Bumblebees, will they? Please, please don't be crazy, you know? So, very cool. Very, very, very cool. I dig it a lot, but I mean, just very nice. Very nice stuff. Both of them look great. So I'm really looking forward to these. And they're the same MSRP as your standard deluxe class. So, hey, if you end up going with card backs and bubbles, apparently that doesn't change the price. And ours, is it good for the environment? I don't know. I would like to go back to card backs and hangers personally. I find that boxes just take way more space. But that's just me. But we have other stuff too, and this one we haven't talked about yet. This is from Super 7. So Super 7 with their Transformers reaction line, they have here the Arc playset. Now, there is a lot of discourse and discussion going on about this thing because it pretty much is a piece of plastic, 2 reissues of Super 7 3-inch figures, and a cardboard background that's double-sided. It shows, a background and it shows the Arc's crash. Now, a lot of people have been really angry about this. They think it's stupid. They don't like what's going on. The thing is that, and I'm not defending Super 7. I think this thing at $75 is ridiculous, in my opinion. T-Formers 2002 still wish that B had the battle mask. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that later. I think it's not the last we've seen of that mold. Let's put it this way. But I mean, I really feel that this display, what people need to understand with Super 7, I mean, what people need to understand with Super 7, even from the beginning, this Super 7, its reaction line, every reaction figure that they've done, every G.I. Joe, every Monster one, every Power Ranger one, going back to Super 7 when they first started the reaction line with stuff like the Rocketeer and everything, that entire reaction line exists for one purpose, and that is, hey, we guys at Super 7 really like Star Wars, the original Star Wars figures from the 70s and the early 80s, and we want to have figurines that homage that across the entire board. And Super 7's reaction line has been around so long that people have forgotten what the original mandate was. Now, here's the thing with this one. This is an homage. This is not just like them doing something lazy. And it gets deeper too, because they've done these play sets already before with their the worsts line, which I think I'm going to do an individual segment about this for people who don't catch the live stream. But this whole thing is an homage to the 1979 Star Wars Land of the Jawas playset. Google it, and you're going to be like, oh damn, that's what that is. That's all it is. I know people are getting angry about it, and they feel like it's very limited. But this is an homage to a super limited Star Wars playset. Everything that Super 7 does with reaction is throwing back to Star Wars 70 and 80. That's all it is. It's just that we've forgotten that over the past 20 years, and we got distracted with the Super 7 super cyborgs and the ultimates and all this stuff. That's all it is. That's all it is. So literally, Google 1979 Land of the Jawas Star Wars Kenner. That's all it is. You're going to see the same thing. And you're going to be like, are you effing kidding me? But that's it. Now, is it worth $75? Absolutely not. I don't think this is even close to $75. A piece of cardboard, two figurines, and a vac plastic bottom, which that's what it is. It's a vac plastic bottom, no different than a Beyblade stadium. Ah, yeah, no. But again, I understand Super 7's really trying to get their market. They're really trying to get into the retail space. I'm going to do an individual segment about this. I'll show deeper photos, the side by sides, the comparisons, what's going on here. But $75, absolutely not. I understand what they're trying to do, so I'm not going to criticize the intent of the visual, but the price is where I have a problem. The homages, the history, what's going on here, that's fine. I get that. That's cool. That's the stuff I actually like that Super 7 does. But what has always been Proto Man's criticism with Super 7? Cool stuff. Ooh, I'm going to wait for clearance. It's always been that. And let's be real, guys. Let's be real. Imagine they did an actual ARC playset. How much was that? How much was that Super 7 Turtle Mobile, the party wagon? How much was that? That was like almost like what? $500? Do you want a $500 ARC playset for reaction figures? Once again, absolutely not. So this is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not defending it. I understand what they're trying to do, but go Google again, Land of the Jawas, Kenner, and you'll be like, oh, I get what Super 7's doing. That's silly. But that's what they've been doing for the past 15 years. It's Star Wars. They really like Star Wars. They really, really, really like Star Wars. Modutron used to have one as a kid. Well, then Modutron knows exactly what I'm talking about. Because I know what I'm talking about. Because I saw these. Again, Proto Man is an old man. And I used to have this place across the street from my parents' called Pascal's that used to have dead stock of stuff. There used to be Return of the Jedi toys from 1983 just sitting there in 1989. And this stuff was there too. Land of the Jawas. I didn't own it, but I definitely saw it when I was a kid. But by then, hey man, I have the Ninja Turtle sewer playset. I have that stuff. That stuff's way cooler. But anyways, So that's I just wanted to get that across. I'm probably going to do a separate segment about this, talking about the history, what Super 7's trying to do, why I think this is not exactly priced correctly. But, you know, it is some crazy stuff. It is some crazy stuff. What's up, Billy B? And then the last thing we're going to cover, and it's kind of what was our theme for our commercial across the socials, our very, very first look at the Transformers Missing Link C05, Cybertron '05, Streaker, aka Sunstreaker. So we got our very first look a couple of weeks ago, distant image, and now at the Toy and Hobby Tokyo show, we got a brand new updated look of the prototype of the Missing Link Sunstreaker, confirming that he does come with the missile hands on a sprue, two interchangeable hands, which are probably also going to be missile launching hands. They're going to probably maintain that missile launching gimmick, judging by there's little tabs on the arms there that might have the spring loaded kind of thing. The hands that are currently on there look like they're articulated. So you're going to have closed fists that could be missile launched. You're going to have fists that are articulated to hold a weapon, which he did not come with the original toy. So that's pretty hype. He's going to come with the three, I guess I'm going to assume they're going to be chrome, like the original chrome missile arm weapons too. I think he looks fantastic. I love everything that the Missing Link line does. I mean, I could understand some people have been a little hesitant with the pricing, but I mean, damn, it's some good product. It's some really good product. Even the Bumblebee and the Cliff Jumper, which are much more simplistic and down to earth. I mean, I really like what they do. Maybe because I'm an old head from the fandom, and for the longest time, up until like 2009, no, yeah, 2009, up until 2009, like our only half decent Sunstreaker figure was the original, you know? And that was literally all that sat in your collection was an original 1984 Sunstreaker, unless you want to count a decoy. So it's just something where this is hype. This hits all the right things with me. Obviously, it's different for different people. If you're someone that got into the fandom, during Armada or during Energon or during, even during the movies, this might not speak to you because that wasn't your childhood. But for someone like me, I dig it. I understand if people don't, but I appreciate what Takara is doing and kind of doing this like, hey, let's do the old G1 toys, but modern, engineering and modern articulation and stuff. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. We don't have any release date information on it or pricing, so stay tuned for that. When we get more info, we'll talk about it here on the podcast. And yeah, Binaltech Asterix. I think, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You do have the alternators one too, which did come later, came after the Asterix though. But yeah, you are correct. Didn't that come around the same time though? What was that? That was like 2007, I think, or 2008. Yeah, it probably came around the same time. Either way, I'm looking up over there, like you guys can see what I'm looking at here. But so last thing I want to talk about is some updates to our Transformers One. I don't want when Rise of the Beasts left theaters, I did like a denouement, a conclusion on the success and or failings of Rise of the Beasts. Transformers 1 still isn't out of theaters yet. There still is opportunities to see it in theaters. I actually kind of want to see it again one more time before it leaves theaters. So I'll definitely be talking about my commentary because I know people have been asking me, you know, like, hey, how could I not talk about the failings of the Transformer 1 movie financially? And the main reason is because it's not done yet. I want to wait until the UK gets it. I want to wait till it's done its run in Japan and here in the West. And then I'm going to take a step back and I'll then give my opinion on pretty much how this is doing. How it did, what was the numbers, what were the opinions, and then we'll get to that. So that will come, guys. I know there was a lot of commentary in like my review videos of the movie, like, hey, how come you haven't talked about how it's been performing? I will, but it's just the door has not been closed yet for people to see this movie, especially in the UK and other places in the world. So I really want to give it when those final numbers are there. When the final numbers are done, then we'll sit down, we'll do a segment, we'll deconstruct everything, and we'll be able to have a discussion on what went wrong, what went right, and everything in between. So we will see. And that's it more or less for news. We do have some stuff in the PO box that we're going to talk about. We'll open it up to some super chats. But first, let's talk about some sponsors. Symbiote Studios, I'm actually rocking their Starscream today and a Slag podcast pin. And yeah, we got all some good stuff there. David Cabal with the $2 super chat. Can you do a commentary track for the 86 movie? My goodness, I would love to do that. I would love to do, you know what'd be cool? I would love to do a commentary track of the 86 movie with like Aaron Archer or something. You know, just to get like a little bit of Hasbro sprinkle on that. Because otherwise it's just going to be going like, oh, here's this animation mistake. Oh, hey, here's this like, you know, fun fact of this character. Oh, watch this. Wait. And that animation cell is miscolored, you know? Because otherwise, I mean, what am I going to say outside of, you know, gushing about the movie because it was my first, you know, rub with Transformers. So but yeah, it would be something that'd be cool to do. I'd like to do it with maybe like one or two other people that are of like Hasbro background because I feel like that would really be a good commentary track. At least it wouldn't just be me like doing fun facts, you know. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe one day in the future. Be a good I guess it'd be a good something you could kind of put you could put it on YouTube and then I wouldn't have to edit anything. I would just watch the movie, commentate, and then you could just play that track and it wouldn't have any edits and you could just play that track while you watch the movie on your DVD player or something. Maybe that's one way I could do it. It'd be an easy thing to put together. I'll see how I feel, but it would be something that'd be cool if I could get Aaron or, you know, some other people. Maybe I'll do it as a Patreon exclusive. I don't know. We'll see. Prince and Phalanx 59 with the YouTube member question. So far, Transformers 1 has crossed over 100 million, which is still in that break even point, unfortunately. $75 million production budget, but there is a lot of marketing and stuff. So it needs to really spread a little more. It's got to double the production budget just to really, you know, get in the clear for the studios to not see it as a failure. Oh man, maybe if I could, Evan or even Mark Mayer, especially if Mark's listening right now. If Mark wants to do a commentary track, that'd be pretty cool. I got water down my throat. Ah, damn it. But yeah, let's talk about Symbiote Studios. Thanks again for the super chats, people. Keep them coming. Symbiote Studios plush pins and t-shirts. Again, I'm rocking their Starscream with Catnip Bravo over there. Speaking of Catnip Bravo, we got our own little uh, uh, kitty cat chilling over there. He's taking a nap. Don't mind him. And I just screwed up the camera, didn't I? Oh, God. So, plush pins and t shirts, as always, go check them out. SymbioteStudios.com, the number one sponsor of this podcast. They are super awesome between the Slag pins, the Slag plushes. Well, maybe not the Slag NFT, but that's a whole other story. That was a gag gift. But very, very cool. Very, very cool. A lot of cool stuff they do. There's more stuff coming in the very near future. A lot of stuff rumbling in the background. We're going to be having some more reveals, some more stuff that's going to be hitting live soon of this ongoing plush initiative. A lot of really cool stuff. So stay tuned here on the podcast. We'll let you know when it pops off. I mean, man, when we did that San Diego Comic-Con sludge, the Transformers the movie Battle Damage sludge, that thing sold out quick. It sold out so quick that Symbiote Studio staff were worried that they didn't even have for themselves. That's how quickly it sold out. So very, very cool. Very excited to see what's going to be coming in the future. So be sure to stay tuned for that. And then, of course, all the other stuff that they do of the Hasbro brands, whether it be G.I. Joe, Power Rangers, My Little Pony. I mean, there's so much My Little Pony stuff. The My Little Pony people are crazy. They probably pay for Symbiote Studios' bills alone just there. So it's pretty nuts. And let's talk about Aaron Archer, the transforming everything and anything, the toy armada with Aaron Archer. We're going to have a new segment coming out before TFCon Baltimore. We just have to find time to pretty much belt it out. And then it'll be up. You'll have something to listen to for your plane flight or drive to TFCon Baltimore very soon. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, we have a couple of segments that you could check out right now that are on there. On the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer on YouTube, a separate channel that has my stupid voice, but Aaron's too. Not so much stupid, but definitely mine. And then, of course, if you want to get more Aaron Archer fix, I got to update this slide because we're going to get some new images for Baltimore over the next couple of weeks. But pick up the Art of Transforming Robots Volume 3, 36 full color pages on glossy paper of the man who worked on all the Transformer products of your childhood. Great stuff. Check it out. Volume 2, limited stock available. I want to say like 9 copies left of Volume 2, or like 5 at this point. And speaking of the Posca paintings, whatever is on the website right now, I heavily suggest if you've been on the fence of picking it up, pick it up now because all of these are going to be going off the website the second Baltimore comes around and they're going to be brought to the show in person. And then I know it, they're going to disappear. They're going to be bought there in person. So if you were on the fence of picking up any of these, even the Lego ones that he did, go pick them up now because they're going to be at the show. So we will see. We will see what happens afterwards, but definitely at the show, they're going to probably get sold. I know a lot of the sleeper ones that stayed on the website once they were brought to the show, they were gone. People buy them because they're gorgeous. And that's it for our sponsorship. Let's get into Patreon live stream commentary. Ah, man, I don't want to watch it live because then you run those risks of YouTube getting angry about stuff. I never want to walk that tightrope with YouTube. They're always looking for trouble. Mutatron Proto wanted to super chat a movie question. Not sure if it was spoilery. Mutatron, I don't know. There's still like, let's do it to a vote. How many people have seen the movie versus how many people have not seen Transformers 1? If there's people that say no, then I think we'll kind of wait for now, but I'm pretty sure most people have seen it at this point. So we'll go into that while I get the stuff ready here of some of the things that we got in the PO box and in the mail this week because it was quite a bit. Quite a bit. Larry said, "Did I get the flight for Baltimore?" Yes, I did. I got my flight. Hotel is ready to go. Everything is spectacular. We're probably going to be doing, dare I say, if if it's released by then, because there's still some sketchiness about the digital release of Transformers 1, but we might do a Transformer Slag podcast viewing party of Transformers 1 in the hotel room, but we'll see what happens with that. I don't want to make any promises on that until I know what's been cleared yet, so we will see. Uh, yeah, so we'll see what happens. That's something that we'll have more information in relation to like what's going to be happening at TFCon Baltimore in the next couple of weeks for sure. Hey Proto, I had a member post earlier. Also round 6 for Transformers. Let me see the member post. Did I miss it? Sometimes it gets eaten up. There we go. Still wish that B had the battle mask. I saw that one. Is that the one you're referring to? The member post? They're definitely going to put a battle mask at some point. They're going to use that mold as much as they can. They use the cliff jumper mold plenty of times. They're definitely going to use that bumblebee mold as much as they can, for sure. Sarah with the 20 whatever currency that is, I guess Mexican pesos. MX, I guess is Mexican. I don't know. I have an opinion about the movie. Can I express it? Yeah, if you want to. Again, like opinions are fine, and it looks like a lot of people have seen it. So I guess it's okay to kind of get into that non-spoilery territory, because it looks like it. Definitely looks like most people have seen it at this point. Take care, Young. Hope to see you around in Montreal. Young is one of my fellow Montrealer peeps. But yeah, so you could send in the super chats in the meantime, and we'll talk about some of the stuff and everything too. One thing, but I do want to mention is so again, TFCon Baltimore is coming up in the next couple of weeks, and we will be having a Transformer Slag podcast exclusive again. It will be for sale at the show, and there will be once again, it will be available for free to patrons that have been so this time around, in order to get the exclusive for free, you have to have been a patron of the podcast for more than a year. Now you're probably going like, wow, a year. This is a much more different exclusive than what we've done before. It's a little more expensive. It's still simple little transformation kind of stuff, but it's a little more expensive than before. This is something that's going to be more in that $30-$35 range of item. I know people are going to really like it. It's going to be very popular and sell out, much like with the Genesis one and the Nintendo one that we did before and everything. So it's going to be one of these things where you're going to have to be a patron of a year or longer to get it for free. That's always the thing. If you're a loyal patron of this podcast, you will always be rewarded in some shape or form where you could get stuff for free. So it's something where I know this is going to be really popular. Tons of people are going to want to get on it, and I just have to have some kind of way to cap it where it's realistic, where the people who have been really loyal could get it for free. And but otherwise, you're welcome to buy it for $30 or 35. I'm going to see how it all boils out and stuff. But we're going to be revealing it over the next 2 weeks. It's very cool. I'm very excited about it. Again, we'll talk about how that's all going to work with distribution and stuff afterwards. But just stay tuned for that and just keep that in mind. Uh, okay, so let's get into some other stuff afterwards. But so we got a bunch of stuff. First, the one thing that I picked up today that I bought, there was a lot of red tag clearance stuff going on at Toys R Us. A lot of it. They're really getting ready for the holiday season coming up. And I picked up Red Cog for $15 Canadian complete. $15 Canadian, which is like $10 American for Red Cog. And when I bought it, I was worried because sometimes red tag stuff is returns. So I literally went to the guy in customer service and said, "Hey man, I know it's red tag, stuff gets opened up anyways. Do you mind if we open this up to see if the accessories are still there?" And he's like, "Bro, I hate my job. You could do whatever you want." So we did. It does have all of the accessories. I checked, they're all there. Man, $15 Canadian for Red Cog. Damn, son. What a good find. What a good find. Again, that's like $10 American. So again, if you're a Canadian, go check out Toys R Us in the Transformer section. It might be hanging on the peg, but then look under it where the UPC code would be. Because a lot of the stuff that's hanging on the peg, the UPC code is covered up with a new UPC code with a new price because they're clearancing a lot of their older items. So if you see like older Buzzworthy Bumblebee stuff or anything like that, it doesn't hurt to give it a scan because they're trying to liquidate a lot of their older stock to get ready for the holiday season. So that was a cool find. Very, very cool. Um, but yeah. Now let's get into. Oh, well, might as well mention this one too. I didn't buy this. The wife did, but she thought it was cool because she's Asian and they like that they like, tiny everything. So she bought a Funko, but not just any Funko, the Biddy Pop Funkos, because she likes Bob's Burgers and like, oh my God, it comes with the Bob's Burgers restaurant and it's a Biddy Pop. It's like the tiny ones. Look how tiny this is. Okay. So she bought that. This was $12.99 Canadian. So you know, that's like what, $9 American, $8 American. So I guess that's okay. I don't know. I don't buy Funko Pops. So Modutron with the $5 super chat proto couldn't tell during the movie, but wanted to know which primes cog did each of the four get, and what D16 do to his after Megatron. So the belief is that Optimus got Prima's cog, uh, Alita got Solus's cog. Bumblebee got Onyx Prime's cog, and Megatron. D16 didn't get Megatronus's until afterwards. The one that he got before, if I remember correctly, his was. I remember I had this discussion with people before. I think it was. Alchemist, not Alchemist. Sentinel Maximuses, which is that one, with Sentinel Maximus, which then became the combiner one, Amalgamus. Did he get Micronus? Or Micronus was Bumblebee? I don't remember. Was it Alchemist? I don't remember. It was one of the two. All I know is that Solus went to Alita and Prima went to Optimus. Maybe it was Nexus. I think it was Nexus. One or the other. But I have a theory. I have a theory that, you know, and it's just like me going like, man, I get a feeling we're gonna get like some prequel sequel kind of story explanation where Megatronus still kind of became the Fallen and had a redemption arc, but still was corrupted, and his cog is messed up, and Megatron having his cog also pushed him more over the edge. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you could kind of get into there. And maybe that same transformation cog kind of also maybe pushed, Sentinel Prime over the edge. Like Sentinel Prime was already a dick, but now he's more of a dick because he had the Megatronus cog. But anyways, we'll get into that. Sentinel Maximus is it's true. That's the OTFCC Overload repaint. I was like, why am I getting that one mixed up? Too much stuff in my head. Too much stuff in my head. So there was those that we got. There was those that we got. These came in the mail through the long overdue. Been waiting for these to show up. So Flame and Emirate Zaron finally got my boys there. Those are really cool. And then, of course, got the other one too. These are. I just don't ever see Hasbro revisiting this stuff again anytime soon, unless we get like a brand new Galvatron mold or something. But I mean, and how are you going to get any better than that for Straxus? My goodness! And again, these two guys. Like, when are they going to do like Flame again? They'll use that Flame trademark, but they'll definitely not use it for what we think we'll use it for. So, and then you got, bam, there's the side. Looking good in the hood. So we got those there that came in the mail, finally. No problem, Mojutron. No problem at all. Now Protoman's punishment for forgetting. He has to go watch TF1 10 more times. Bro, I would. If I had the time, I would watch it every day. Like, if I had the time outside of work and social life, I would watch it every day. I am trying to figure out I'm trying to figure out a way that I could go down to where my parents live and force my sister and my father to go see it. Like, I just want to like even like get as many people to get their eyeballs on this movie because it's a good beginner movie too, you know? Like, I just want to like I didn't have to force any of my friends. They're all geeks. We're all geeks. We're all watching these movies. They all saw it. They all saw it multiple times. But like the non-Transformer fans, I want to force them to go watch it. Sarah, I'm Mexican. I have a lot of Aussie friends that hate then the movie and isn't released yet in Australia. When is it streaming in the rest of the world? Well, I mean, the rumor is that there's going to be some kind of digital release at the end of October, which I am hoping is not true, but that's the rumor. So we will see with that. I really hope that's not the case, though. What else do we got here? Before we get into more Transformer stuff, this is also something that I've been waiting long overdue to pick up, and that's the Mega Man Wave 1 Jada toys. So finally got my hands on those. So very happy with that. Can't wait to get Wave 2 and Wave 3 that's going to have Proto Man. So these are long overdue to be in the collection. Definitely expect some photos of those in the near future on the Instagram, and the X Twitter, whatever you want to call it. These I've been waiting to get to. Talked about these on the podcast. These are the Candy Cons. So obviously, gee, who did he get? He got Hot Rod, and not only did he get Hot Rod, he's probably going to use it. Proto Man, you're going to use the Hot Rod? Yeah, but I bought a second. So super stoked about these. Say hello to my next Nintendo Switch controller. So very cool. And there's all the others too. They're on the back there. Jazz, Devastator. Very cool. These were very cheap too. I was surprised how cheap these were. These are like $10. And obviously, yeah, you have to get like the extra, the whole skin and stuff. Not the skin, the base plate and everything for it. Like to fill it in, but still very cool. Very cool about these. Very excited. Dig them. Dig them, dig them. Um, am I going to buy the Blu-ray and play it every day? Oh yeah, probably. Dude, let me explain something. When I got Transformers the movie, I managed to get the VHS, not the original back in the day. I own the original VHS now, but back in the day, the VHS that I got for the 86 movie was the Rhino 1997 version, which had like Optimus Prime on the cover in a clamshell. I swear to God, I must have played that thing every day if I could have, you know? I must have worn out that VHS so bad. I still have it to this day. And I used to bring that thing with me everywhere. Like I would bring it with me. Someone's at a party. I was using it as like the Bible. Like I was using it like to preach my religion to people. It was crazy. Do you prefer Mega Man or Mega Man X? It's different strokes. Mega Man I like more for its challenge because the later games are much more difficult, and I like hard video games. I'm just kind of one of those people that likes a challenge. And the Mega Man original characters are appealing. I like that kind of simplistic design that Infune did, but I like the X series too. I've always compared it to like Mega Man is to Dragon Ball, that Mega Man X is to Dragon Ball Z. They both have their merits, they both have their flaws and their positives, and I love both of them for different reasons. If I had to pick one, I'd lean a little more into classic series just because I feel there's so many more iconic characters. I mean, there's so many iconic Mavericks, but there's so many more iconic Robot Masters, you know? And that's more of a world that could be played out and fleshed out and stuff. Stay tuned for that. Wink, wink. But you'll see. Prince of Phalanx 59, time for everyone to give Proto Man a new Funko Pop TF1 figure. Actually, you know what I ended up finding out? Apparently, they're doing Funko Pop Teeny Beanie Transformer ones also. So chances are those are going to probably end up in the house somehow. Uh, Transformers, T-Formers 2002. I got Dino King today. That I'm still waiting for again. It's slow to get in the mail for me. It's just how it is. What about Mega Man ZX? I like the ZX series. I love the fact that you could, the rock on switch modes. I like that. I like the open world environment that was very similar to the Zero series. The only Mega Man, like, I don't hate any Mega Man games. I'll be honest with you. I love the Legend series. I love the Battle Network stuff. I love the Star Force stuff. They're all great. They're all fantastic Capcom polished titles. Like, what's my least favorite Mega Man game? I don't know, X7, I guess, because that's that weird 3D one that no one likes. That one's kind of meh. Had bad voice acting too. But I mean, I'm not going to let voice acting be a reason to be something bad because I love Mega Man 8. Anyways, this came in the P.O. box also. This bad boy set finally came in the P.O. box. So, gonna crack that one open too. All the beauties. Got that one. And then, also in the P.O. box, the GoBots. This is the one I'm very excited about. Can't wait to crack open this one because I own all the originally hobby ones. I own all the original GoBots. There is going to be quite the photo shoots with this one. So very cool. And then an extra bonus from Mikey and Louie sent in the mail. They sent me an extra uh, of the Auto Troopers. So now that I could have both Derek Wyatt version and Kiss Play version on display without having to have millions of box sets and stuff like that to purchase of it. Very, very cool. And then the last thing that was in the PO box, which was unexpected from one of my buddies in Korea, Bottle Man. I like Battle Beat 'em on. He sent me a Bottle Man one, which apparently this one came from like a box set or something, or like a Switch version, like a Switch box set version. So it's like an exclusive. I don't know because it's like a metal chrome one. I have no idea anything about Bottle Man. I just like Beat 'em on from its like Bomberman origins. So this is kind of cool. So that was sent in the mail along with some Blue Dragon Korean trading cards, sealed pack. I think I'm going to leave it sealed. Blue Dragon was an obscure Akira Toriyama manga, video game, anime, and in this case, this was a TCG by Konami, the people who made Yu-Gi-Oh. So some Korean trading cards. Very, very cool. Thank you to my buddy from Korea. Rudy Mack with the $2 question: can Tesla legally call their robot Optimus? Well, yet they legally can, but they're definitely doing something that's very on the nose, which is so the trademark of Optimus standalone has been used for years by electronics companies. There's an Optimus TV, there's Optimus, I think it's like wiring products and stuff. And it all exists on the shelves today. You could go to a Family Dollar, go into the electronics section, and I think like you could find like Optimus HDMI cables, but Hasbro owns Optimus Prime. That's the difference. So obviously Tesla and Elon Musk are going, "Hey, it's a sentient robot. Why don't we use a name that's really, iconic that people remember with sentient robots, but not exactly do trademark infringement?" And so you have the Optimus. That's it, pretty much. It's kind of like if they did a yellow version, they called it the Bee. Bumblebee isn't owned by Hasbro per se as a trademark in a very rarefied kind of way. It's Autobot Bumblebee. We get deep into the weeds of that stuff. Decepticitty. I had an Optimus CD player. There you go. A lot of electronics products were under the Optimus branding back then. Yeah, pretty much that's it. It's just, they don't own Optimus, they own Optimus Prime. In the same way, like they own Omega Supreme, but I'm pretty sure there's tons of stuff that have Omega on it, and they have tons of stuff that have Supreme on it. It's just the fusion of those two together that make the trademark. Plain and simple. Very plain and simple. So that's how they get away with that. And I'm pretty sure, even in the toy like world, if they wanted to make an action figure that's a robot and call it Optimus, they probably could get away with that. Yes, they're skating really close on thin ice, but they are, taking it close. Yeah. T-Formers 2002 Autobot Espionage 2-pack. That was the old Heroes of Cybertron set with Bumblebee and Spike, which came from the SCF PVCs before that. Oh, Omega could be used for anything. Omega 3. Is Hasbro going to be suing pill companies and supplement companies for using Omega 3? Sorry, timepieces. Omega watches and Taco Supreme. There you go. We're going to go after Omega watches and Taco Bell. So it's really the fusion of the two words. If Optimus Prime is used, then that's a different story. But Optimus is a Latin word, So it's like you get into that area where it's like it's the same thing. Like Hasbro can't own Ratchet. They own Autobot Ratchet. And the combination of those two words, Autobot Ratchet, that's what they own, you know? But to own Ratchet, you can't own Ratchet, Impossible. If anything, like Snap-on, the Ratchet company, should own Ratchet before Hasbro does. So it is what it is. Francesco says, did you read the Transformers Visionary crossover comic? No, I did not, but I did see someone. I don't know if this also probably led to your question. Someone did an incredible custom of Lio Convoy, aka Lio Prime, as one of the Visionary characters. Like it was really, really cool because it was the lion hologram one. So very, very cool. So got all of that stuff in the mail. I think that's everything really. The rest of it was more non Transformer stuff, nothing too major. Some animation cells, uh, King Arthur and the Knights of Justice animation cells that I bought online. I like to buy me animation cells when I can, when they're ridiculously cheap, which is unfortunately not too common. But yeah, we got another super chat from Sarah, a gold super chat of 100 Mexican dollars. I have a complaint, sir. Let's hear it. Is it just me, or all the modern G1 Transformer character figures are expensive than the rest of the line, like the case of the Voyagers sell at Commander's happily? I'm a Beast guy. Well, do you mean secondary market, or are you talking MSRP? That's that, because if you're talking the secondary market, well, then that's just demand. G1 had an 8-year lifespan, if you want to even count that 8-year lifespan. I mean, from 84 until, let's say, 90, 91, because that's like the tail end. 91's like the dead tail end of Action Masters in the West and Micro Masters and stuff like that. But when you really look at it, like G1 was really 84, 85, and a little bit of 86 and 87. So 4 years of really on top before disappearing, even though it was on the toy shelves and comics a little longer than that in the West. But it did have a longer mainstay. Like I say, it's the Neil Armstrong. Whoever's the first is going to be remembered. More people know Neil Armstrong than they do Buzz Aldrin, and how many people know Michael Collins? And if you don't even know who Michael Collins is, I rest my point. So it's something where being the first doesn't necessarily mean you're the best, but you're going to get the most attention. And I'm not trying to say G1 is not, good or anything, but it's just me trying to establish that that's why there's a huge secondary market demand for that. Combined with the fact that G1 toys were not really that good compared to Beast Wars toys. So if you got like an old, Transmetal Cheetor, Transmetal Rat Trap, it was a pretty damn good toy to begin with, to the point that if you told me, oh, they're going to make a new Transmetal Rat Trap, just how good is it going to be compared to the original outside of the chrome flaking? But so that's where like I'm kind of at with that with pricing. So unless you have like a follow up to that, like if there's something else that you mean exactly. But thank you for the gold super chat, Sarah. Very cool. Very, very cool. Paul with the $5 super chat. If Hasbro cannot trademark Sideswipe and Ratchet, how can McFarlane trademark Fire for DC figures? He's not trademarking it. The figure has it on the box with a TM label. Are you sure about that? Are you sure it's next to Fire? Because I don't know if that's possible. Because we have a very good example right here. So you can't trademark Fireman. It's not there, you know? So, and that's always been an issue actually in the past. They used to call him Torchman when they wanted to have a trademark or something. I think it was Torchman that they used for Mega Man NT Warriors, the dub for EXE. But are you sure that it was trademarked? Because, I mean, I have a Fire figure in my collection of the DC Infinite heroes. I'm pretty much Fire and Ice doubt that they somehow are able to trademark that. That is really tough to do that. I'd have to look that up. I'd really have to look that up. Not only would I have to look that up, but I'd have to look up if McFarlane Toys even has that trademark on that side of things. Because I could go into the US Patent Office from a Hasbro backdoor and be able to do that too. So I'd have to see that. That's something I'd have to see with my own eyes, because that's very bizarre if that's the case. Because that cannot be. That cannot be. Anyone could use that. Really, you can't trademark Fire. But yeah. Uh, almost everything in the world is currently expensive. Let me tell you that, brother. Let me tell you that. Why do you think I'm waiting for so many things to go on sale? Why do you think I got, like, look, when did this guy come out? When was this? It was like 2 years ago, this thing. You know, I waited this long to get like this beat up box version. Look, the box is kind of collapsed and look at how it's shaped. It's like, you know, but I didn't care. I was going to open this up and have them on display and be proud. And, all those accessories too. Good stuff. I'm happy with that. For $15 Canadian, $10 American. When this was like what? This was like almost like Voyager price because it had all those extra things. What a steal. Again, look for your red tags this week. Toys R Us Canada. You got a freebie. Usually I save that for the Discord. So for my Patreon Discord people. So you got a freebie there. Kabuto79 with the YouTube member question. Do you have any thoughts on the loyal subjects attaining mask toy license? They're really known for their high quality stuff. I hope that it's really good. Mask has always been one of those licenses that Aaron Archer always talks about that was really difficult to get off the ground. It was like, hey, let's try to integrate it into G.I. Joe. Oh, it didn't sell very well, that one Matt Tracker figure. What a surprise. Why don't we integrate it into Transformers Prime? Why don't we write all these sub stories? And like, the Transformers Prime Autobot base will one day become Boulder Hill, and then we could use that as a pilot launch for a Mask series. And, Mask, it's they got the transformation cogs from the Autobots and they put it into their cars, and they're not sentient per se, but they do transform into like other vehicles. Like they're always trying to figure out a way. And then there was that Unit E comic book pitch that didn't happen. Then IDW tried to do a Mask comic. It sold terribly. Sold terribly, that comic. So they've always had a difficult time. I love Mask as a kid. I have very, very, very fond memories of Mask as a child. One of my most crystal clear memories. I'll never forget this. And it's such a silly story. I might have told it before on the podcast, but I remember my grandmother coming upstairs. We used to live in a duplex together. We were all poor. It was literally like we lived on the top floor, my family, and then my grandmother and grandfather lived on the second floor. My uncle lived in the basement. Like we were all one big family in one house because we just didn't have money. We lived in a poor area in Montreal. And I remember my grandmother came upstairs and she's like, if you finish your bowl of cereal, I'll buy you a new toy. And I remember going like, I'm going to finish my bowl of cereal anyways. And I'm like 5 years old at the time. I'm like, I'll finish this bowl of Cheerios anyways without the toy, you know? And so I like gobbled it down. And then she brought for me from Consumers Distributing. I guess it was on clearance or something because it was a little older at the time. She brought me the Thunderhawk. And I still have it to this very day. It's a little beat up. It's missing the missiles. The springs for the doors don't really work well anymore. The paint is a little, not the paint, the stickers are a little damaged, but I still have it to this very day from my grandmother. I love that thing. So cool. So, and look, when the G.I. Joe Matt Tracker figure came out, I picked that up. I love Mask. I love it so much. And but it's one of those things that are very different, very different to kind of modernize. It goes back to, again, go check out the Toy Armada segment that we did with Aaron Archer on his channel, where we talk about brands that are hard to modernize. How do you take those things? That's why there's Dick Tracy in that over there, so. But yeah, I love Matt. I hope it works out well. I hope it's amazing, you know. Definitely would love to see more of it. Where are we at? Tucker says that's why they made sure you got a deal on Party Wallop. Landed at $23. Man, at $23 you could get all the turtles. And then you can make one, you could paint it up to make it like Metalhead. Mototron Proto mentioned Fire and Ice. Like the Bakshi Frazetta movie. That's a great movie. That's a great movie, that one. Bakshi did a lot of great stuff. Francisco, I have a lot of vintage Mask figures. Yeah, me too. I have my favorite one is probably, oh, that's a tie though. Because that Thunderhawk is really good though. But the Barracuda is awesome too. There's a lot of really good ones. And then again, even Hasbro did the Micro Masters. I totally forgot about those also, which were based off of Mask ones. Mototron, hopefully the new Mask line will be good. Well, I hope so too. I really hope it works out, you know? Proto, did you love Dino Riders? Dude, Dino Rider toys were so expensive as a kid. I had a friend, shout out to Mikey, growing up. He had all of them. He had the T-Rex. He had all the vehicles. Oh my God. I would love to, as an adult today, if I could just have one Dino Rider to have the T-Rex. And do you want to have your mind blown for a second? I don't know if people know this. Only about 2 years ago, I learned this. So maybe I'm just not in the know. Sandy, who loves Toy Story, my wife, she read online somewhere that Rex from Toy Story is the dinosaur from Dino Riders. And I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" Apparently it is. He's a cutesy version of the dino from Dino Riders with all the armor pieces missing. And he has the wheels under his feet like the dinosaur. And then I looked it up and yeah, it's true. So that's crazy. So if you want Dino Rider action figures, we technically had one all these years as Toy Story existed with Rex. So that's crazy. Look it up. It's crazy. I didn't realize that. It blew my mind. And now whenever I see a Rex figure, I'm like, do I want to get it? Does it have the wheels on the bottom? You know? Look it up. Rodimus Supreme, look it up. When she told me that, here's me like I'm an arrogant ass. I'm just like, what are you talking about? What do you mean Rex is a Dino Rider? Like she was telling me this, reading this on a website. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I saw the Rex figure. He has wheels under his feet. So Andy in Toy Story lost all the pieces and just had the dinosaur. Look it up. I'm not crazy. Look it up. It's crazy. I know. Blew my mind. All those years, I saw Toy Story when it first came out. I still have the ticket too. I saw it in theaters when it first came out. Never made that connection. Not even once. Not even once. So Rex is a Dino Rider. He's the Dino Rider T-Rex with all the pieces missing. Just he's cutesy because he's interacting with everybody. So you want a Dino Rider figure? Go get the past 25 years of Toy Story toys. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. And I'm glad to know, reading the chat here, that I'm not the only one. Because when she told me that, and this was like 2 years ago, I was like, how did I not make that connection? Oh my goodness. Here I'm supposed to be this connoisseur of all toys, and I didn't make that connection. The funny thing is with Dino Riders is right now, Mattel keeps that trademark alive. Look up Mattel Hot Wheels Dino Riders. So they made a whole subline of Hot Wheels that are just dinosaur looking cars, but they called them Dino Riders. Trademark. And that's how they kept it alive. They keep that trademark alive. They throw it on stuff here and there. There was supposed to be a statue series that some company licensed, and it was one of the female characters from Dino Riders. I forget which one. Um, so like, there's a lot of weird stuff like that. But yeah, look it up. And if you get a Rex figure, he has all the little details that the freaking the T-Rex from Dino Riders has. And I was like, oh my God. So needless to say, I have a Rex figure now in my collection next to the few Dino Rider toys I do have. I have mostly just the drivers, and I have one of the I'm so bad with dinosaurs. What's the one that has like the giant fin on his back, but he's not a carnivore? Or is it a carnivore? I don't know. I'm not a paleontologist. So I have that one, but it's missing all the pieces. Dino Rider toys are so tough to get, at least locally here, 100% complete. My grail would be just to get the T-Rex. Just get the T-Rex. If I could get the T-Rex 100% complete with his frog dude like leader, I'm set. I'm set. Then I could die happy. Maybe not, but you know. There was Dino Riders and Mrs. Was that what Robin Williams was doing when that guy there was like talking with the two dinosaurs? Were those the Dino Riders? I know that like the original Dino Rider toys, they were so well done that I believe it was the Smithsonian took those molds and then used them for their gift shop years later. I don't throw dinosaur. It's definitely not Stegosaurus. I know Stegosaurus is the multiple like spikes on the back or like fins. It's the one fin, like that one fin there. And you'll have to tell me because even I can't correct you if I'm right or wrong on those. But I know it's not Stegosaurus. I know the ones that a 5-year-old would know: Triceratops, T Rex, Stegosaurus. Brontosaurus, Brachiosaurus. My knowledge of dinosaurs is on a grade 4 level. Wasn't there a Dino Riders like that, but with cavemen? Well, I know that like, and someone I think mentioned in the chat, it was not Fisher Price. Was it Fisher Price? What they did like a bootleggy kind of Dino Riders line, like an homage line. Um, I said, guys, I don't know. Ankylosaurus, I don't know. Ankylosaurus, isn't that the one with the like the armor and everything? That's what Scar is. Tucker. I'm getting all the paleontologists are coming out now. See, Proto Man doesn't know anything. He doesn't know dinosaurs. I apologize. I don't know dinosaurs. I know Yoshi. Does that count? I'm a paleo nerd on. Well, good. Good. Hey, everyone has to be good at something in life, my friends. Let me tell you. Everyone has to be good at something in life. There's no shame in that. Me, it's all toy lines. I like to obsess over all toy lines. You know, I wish you guys could see my desk with all the crazy toys I have, from Dragon Ball to He-Man to Godzilla. Like, like even like on top of my, just as on top of my tower here, Bomberman, Dragon Ball. That's from Power Play because it's a cool Mega Man looking thing. Got some Kishis there. That's from, if anyone remembers, Panzer World Galleant. That's a Keshi from Japan. You know, and there's more Ninja Turtle stuff there. And then of course you can even see like here on my mic stand, you got Kinnikuman, Kinnikuman Nisei. You got Microman stuff that are because they have these are cool. You've probably seen because they have magnets in them, so that's why I put them on my mic stand. They chill. They're chilling like villains. But yeah, and there I go screwing up the camera again after we spent all this time perfecting it. But yeah, I don't know. That's what Instagram and Twitter's for. Let's see the desk. It's just toys. It's just toys. It's Mighty Max. It's it's my one of my very first Sonic City cars from Diecast. Which when you used to push on the wheels they would light up. Doesn't work anymore. What else is on here? Bootleggy kind of stuff from Digimon. It's fidget spinners. A little bit of got some. This is a mixed up multiple pieces of Bionicles, McDonald's. I have a little bit of everything. It's all a little bit of everything that I hold dear in my life. This if anyone knows Monsters in My Pocket. I have a lot of Kishis on my desk actually recently because I picked up a whole bunch of them, so I was kind of sorting them here on the side. It's actually quite organized too. It's not even a messy desk. It's everything's like organized like together. But yeah, where are we at? Bomberman beats Guts. I love Bomberman. Bomberman is a amazing franchise. Ninjatron, I think the Blu-ray had already come out because I pre-ordered it from Sentai Filmworks, but it's in what's it called? They're like what's it called where it's out of stock, but then you're backlogged or whatever. So I pre-ordered it because they did the Blu-ray recently, and I think they did. Did they do the? They There wasn't a DVD version; it was just Blu-ray, but it came out this year. It already came out. I watched it years and years ago from I think it was a fan sub using the laser discs or something. I think I watched it. Gosh, I want to say like 10 years ago. What a great anime series! Great music, great premise. It's with the exception of like Aura Battler and Vision of Escaflowne, it's very rare that you have like mecha that's like, medieval times. So I really dig that. Very cool. I always say it, Panzer Gallant is Legend of Zelda meets like Gundam. That's probably the best way to explain it with a little bit of waifu stuff, which is always good too. Shockwave 75, whatever happened to the rumored Pokemon Transformers crossover figure? I don't think that was a rumor. That was a April Fool's joke that kind of went out of hand. Back ordered. Thank you, sir. Fonhart. Back ordered. Because I was on the pre-order list, but then like apparently more people pre-ordered than they were anticipating, so they put me on a back order, and I think it's because I waited too long to pre-order. Like I pre-ordered at the tail end of it, but I'll wait as long as I get it. I'm happy. You know, I already saw the whole series, but I always like to have physical media. I always love to have physical media. Kabuto 7 to 9. I set the carpet on fire at my parents' living room with a toy car that had a friction motor with sparks on it. Well, first of all, I'm going to start with what was on your parents' carpet for it to catch on fire that easily with just a little bit of sparks? Because as someone who had to learn welding to be a mechanic and learned a lot about that with acetylene and oxygen and sparks and everything. How did that happen? Because we learned about flashpoints, like what it takes to cause a fire. And was your like carpet like in the basement and covered in some kind of noxious fumes to set the carpet on fire? Man, that must have caught quickly. That's crazy. Sarah, in Mexico, the red stickers on the Toys R Us were a month before movie. That's how you got AirRazor mainline for $20. Yeah, well, that's again, and that's why I tell people when you see them hanging on the pegs, Especially like look if you're at Toys R Us, if you know, there's still some places in the States that have them. But what Toys R Us does is if you see stuff hanging on the pegs and it looks like it's something that's really old, like you know what would be the best? Look now probably at the Beast Wars reissue stuff. If you see any Beast Wars reissue stuff, go look at the UPC code because it might work out for you. Get yourself a Wolf Fang for $5 or something. You'll thank yourself for a million years because that's a fantastic toy at any price, even at $40. I love Wolf Fang and K9. Uh, yeah. Roman Schilling, hey Proto, can you get a birthday shout out? Well, happy birthday, my man. How old are you? Are you an old man like me? Are you an old proto man like me? I'm not proto boy, I'm proto man, proto old man. I'm going from proto man to Dr. Wiley at this point. But happy birthday. Tucker, hold up. Is that Tank Megs on the shelf in the back there? Are you talking about Reverse Megatron Revenge Convoy? Yes, that is. Is that the one you're referring to? This is all Robot Masters. I'm very OCD. This is all of Titaniums, Robot Masters. In the back there is the Beast Wars 10th Anniversary Series, Transformers Universe 1.0, as we call it. And then Transformers Prime is all the bottom there, and then it goes on and 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 on. Go watch the videos online of my collection. It's pretty crazy. Oh, maybe that's why Ninja. Because like it's I remember seeing like, oh, it's released, and then like they said back ordered, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm part of the back order. But then again, a lot of stuff has been taking a while to get shipped to me. So I mean, everyone got these before me. So I don't know. Quebec, Canada. Uh It was a Flocati carpet. I have no idea what that is, but it probably is flammable. It was the 80s, so I was like 4 and I cried a lot, but that's all I remember. Yeah, you almost made yourself homeless, I guess, because of a spark function, because of a spark bot. Or what was the ones that used to have the spark gimmick? That was no, RoboCop, it was caps. Excuse me. The RoboCop Ultra Police had caps. Uh, girls under Panzer, girls under Pansu. 53. Welcome to the old man club, my man. Welcome to the old man club. Who's that figure? Which one are we talking about? Who's that figure? There's a lot of figures. Who's that figure? You mean the Symbiote Studios Optimus Prime plush made from the most minkiest of quality in the world? Or are you talking Hot Rod, mint in box? Are you talking Nitro Convoy, aka Override, mint in box? Which is ironic because I have two here, but then I have also on my desk. Actually, that's not the same one, but still, because you got to always have a hot rod nearby. Giggity. Uh, where are we at here? Shockwave 75. That's why the Barbie with the sparking rollerblades got discontinued. That I could see. That I could see with that. My sister didn't have many Barbies growing up, oddly enough. Remember, she had the cowboy female Barbie that had the stamps on her spurs. Like when you would make the spurs, it would do like I guess like ink stamps. Remember, she had that one. My sister had a lot of Polly Pocket. She loved Littlest Pet Shop, Pound Puppies, Puppy Surprise. She loved dinosaurs, as in Jim Henson's dinosaurs. She really loved that. What else did she have? She had a lot of like, you know, when you have like my sister's only a year younger than me, so when you have a brother that was like really into like geek stuff, and we all kind of shared similar hobbies. I would get X-Men toys, she would get X-Men toys. I would get reboot toys, she would get reboot toys. I would get Beast Wars toys, she would get a Rhinox or an Air Razor. You know, so there's a lot of that too. Who's that Pokemon? It's Hot Rod. Da-na-na. It's me, Austin. Anyone who gets that meme. Why lag? Why? What are those smaller statues with the red Autobot stands? I used to have the Bayverse Prime. Oh, you're talking about those are titaniums. Those are titanium transformers. Here, let me grab. one for you. Let me grab. You can look at this butt in the meantime when I lean over. So these were the titanium transformers. They were little die-cast, slightly articulated figures. They were all designed by the legendary Don Figueroa, who worked on the Transformers War Within comics, and he was given a whole toy line that he could go carte blanche on. So all Hasbro said was, "Here's some trademarks. We need you to use these." That's it. So he made some awesome stuff. So he made like all kinds of crazy things. So I have a few carded ones there because I really like. So the Canadian versions of these had terrible box art. The American versions had really nice box art. So whenever I would go to the States, I'd buy obviously the nice box art one. So I obviously have the 2-pack. I have the Hot Rod one because, of course, and then I have the Subaru one because, of course, because Subarus are awesome. The smokescreen, but yeah, I have the whole set of them. I even have like the SDCC exclusives, the Toys R Us exclusives, the ones that you're referring to, which are the movie ones. They also made for the first movie. They made a few of them too, and I have those ones too. It had little stands. They were very cool. Uh, so I hope that answers that. What's up, Aaron? What's up, Aaron? How you doing? Man, you hated that dinosaur show. What? It had its charm. It had its charm. Symbiote Studios should make Battle Beast plushes. You know what? I'd be down for a Sawtooth Shark Battle Beast plush. That'd be pretty cool. That's my personal favorite of the bunch. Or Horny Toad, I think his name was the name of the toad. Y, those are pretty sick. Thanks. I only have one, but they're pretty charming. I dig them. That was Hasbro's return to diecast, if you don't count Vinyl Tech, which technically is actually Takara. So that was kind of their return to diecast, and then the reminder that yeah, maybe we shouldn't be using diecast with Transformers because they were kind of floppy and weird, and they were designed by a different team. Um, but yeah, they're charming. I like the little ones. I like that we got like a little, Autobot arc. I like that we got like some alternator characters that got, like the jazz, the smoke screen, the side swipes, the few of the G1 guys. Obviously, we got, 2 Hot Rod figures out of it. So that's already awesome there. A few Cybertron characters got them, like the Cybertron Megatron, the Energon Scorponok got a figure. Cool stuff. Don did a fantastic job. Don Figueroa always does a fantastic job. We got a super chat from Big Bot Bodega. How you doing, Big Bot? Proto, we know you're a Hasbro man. I don't know about that. Do you buy third party, and what was your last third party purchase? I do buy third party if I feel it's something that I don't think Hasbro will do. I mean, I worked on third party stuff. I work on third party stuff still. Uh, the last third party thing I bought would have had to be the TFCon 2018 RC. The reason why I bought that was not even so much for the figure. So I'm not going to take it out of the display now. So there was a TFCon exclusive RC, like a masterpiece RC third party. The box was a complete homage to Masamune Shiro's Ghost in the Shell, the front and the back. So it's just the box sold me. And then the figure itself was the prototype colored RC. So like, those like peaches and pinks and stuff. So I literally bought that figure, took it out of the box, put it in that weird pose that same photo that we all have of the prototype RC. So I put it in that weird pose that it has. I put the shoulder pieces in the front and then displayed the box in all its glory. So that was probably one of the last third parties I bought. But before that, they did the Sphinx, uh, like it was like another third party TFCon exclusive. It was like a Mirage third party, but it came in like a coffin, like a Egyptian coffin. Bought that one because just the box alone. That one I could actually reach. Just show you that one. One moment. Let me grab that one. Like this was the box. Look at that. It's a coffin. There's Mirage in there. That's so cool. And it has like the Sphinx head. That's the coolest box ever. So, if it's cool. Look, I'm not I'm not like a Bible thumping pro Hasbro guy. If it's cool and I feel Hasbro won't do it, I'll get it, you know? But if it's, look, if there was like more third-party companies making Super Mario stuff, I'd be all over that. I'd be all over it. So, that's kind of like my take on it. But I mean, it's just that so much third-party stuff is like, look, like there's all this third-party stuff that's like Transformers Armada related. Really? In the face of like all this great Transformers Armada stuff we're getting on the Hasbro side, what's the point? You know? So, it is what it is, you know? Um I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Like there's let's see, like here, Ash said, New Age has a red Mirage. I'd buy that. That I'd buy. That I buy 100%, you know, because we're not seeing red Mirages from Hasbro. If they did red Mirages, if they called it Proto, put a number 27 on the chest, we're good. Then we're good. Then we'll talk. You know, but yeah. Manning Fresh with the $5 super chat just tuned in. By any chance, do you know if the 40th anniversary Optimus Prime and Bombshell will be available for pre-order for Walmart for a second chance? Well, I imagine that that's probably what's going to be happening. I mean, again, here's the teaser. Where is that? I mean, that's kind of probably what's going to be dropping on the 17th and on the 17th specifically. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know what's happening with CollectorCon. I just know that mark on your calendar on October 17th on Thursday to go check it out, you know? So, uh eyes on the ace. I got the MFT 34Z Huge Dragon Omega Supreme because Titan is too big and expensive for me. Well, that's also another reason. Like anyone who collects any of those smaller, like more micro scale kind of third party stuff. I mean, those are cool. I mean, where was the one that? One second, let me grab one that I thought was really awesome. Uh, like the Magic Square. These are cool. These are really really cool. You know, I dig it. Like to have something that's kind of that more like smaller core class scale. And keep in mind when this one came out, there was no such thing as Studio Series core class yet. So I dig that kind of stuff, you know? I dig it a lot because that's something that at the time Hasbro wasn't doing. They weren't doing like little more, yeah, you had like the legend scale that existed during like the tail end of the Aaron Archer era that kind of like fit that. And then core class came around, geez, around the time of Kingdom, which was like when John Warden was on his way out. So the John Warden era came and went, and then when the John Warden era was ending, and the beginning of like the Evan and Mark era, you know, slightly the Lenny Penzica era because he was there at the beginning. Uh, then they started the core class, and then that kind of opened that doorway a little bit. But then unfortunately, it wasn't that successful from what we're hearing. Uh, so Proto, no big red dragon yet. No big red dragon yet. Not yet. One day. Shockwave 75. Why waste money on third-party Armada, Jetfire, Hasbro will use that? Yeah, of course, of course. Well, that's why there's certain ones that's like, hey, look, if you want to get the third-party Jetfire, that's cool. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money, but if you ask me, I mean, you don't got to be a rocket scientist to know what's coming for the rocket, you know. Hey, Proto, do you think we could ever get a Nightbird as a retool repaint of the Earthrise RC? Well, we did kind of get a Nightbird of every other RC. I think it's more just if they want to do, that. What they did is during that siege time, they made that Nightbird from that, what was it, the Chromia mold? Whatever was that Cybertronian one. So they did it from that. They wanted to do it from that one instead. So that's their call. Uh David Cabal with the $2 super chat. What's the latest TF collection you completed? A micro collection? I don't know. That's a tough one because a lot of them were already completed. Uh, Gosh, David, I don't know. Maybe Kiss Play, if I want to count that. Yeah, I guess. Because I finally got the Egg Beasts, which, by the way, don't buy them. They're extremely fragile today because of their clear plastic. Probably Kiss Play, because I had all the Kiss Play stuff except the Egg Beasts, which were like the little ball transforming ones. And I couldn't find those for an affordable price for years and years. And then, my buddies in Japan finally found some for I think like $70. And I was like, oh, I'll pull the trigger as long as it came with the CD. So, now they're all complete. There's the entire line of Kiss Play. The whole line, every little thing. Kisupreya. So I'd have to say that because, like Beast Wars was more or less complete. I think the only thing I'm missing with Beast Wars is if you really go down the nitty gritty of variants within Beast Wars Neo and Beast Wars Second, like it's like, oh, like I have Baboom, but I don't have Apache. And the difference between Baboom and Apache is a trading card, you know? So it's like, so otherwise they're the same figure pretty much. Uh, where are we at? Transformatics. I hope they at least finish G1 and give us the dang Omnibots. I keep saying it. The Omnibots are going to happen sooner or later just because 2 out of those 3 trademarks they always protect. You know, downshift and downshift and not overdrive. Downshift and camshaft they always protect those two. I mean, heck, there's a camshaft right there, spy changer that they did many years ago just to keep that trademark going. So wonder what that Kiss Play manga collection goes for. I don't know. Well, there's 2 of them. There's the prequel book that was a Wonder Festival exclusive. Show you some rare books for a moment. And grab both of them. So there's this one that came out first. Not safe for work on the other side, but why not? Oh damn! So there was English, American side, Japanese side. There was this one that came out first, and then afterwards, Yuki Ashima did this one at Wonder Festival, which is the prequel story to the drama CDs or the drama radio show. So you would have to like kind of read this one first, and then it kind of goes into this afterwards. Like the very last page of this one, which is Atari with an upskirt shot, of course. Atari walking on the ledge there. And then the first page of this one is Atari walking on the ledge. So one go into the other. This one, this is Wonder Festival. So I'm scared to know how much this goes for. This is probably very expensive, this one. But why did I buy it? Oh, snap. Look at that back cover. Oh, damn. Oh, it has a stain on it. Like it literally has a stain on it. I don't know what that stain is. I hope it's a very safe for work stain. But I bought it from Azusa. He had a whole bunch of them. It was the last one left. And yeah, so Kiss Play seems inappropriate overall. Well, welcome to Japan, my friend. Welcome to Japan. They don't mean to offend, but everyone seems to be offend. But I wouldn't have it any other way in a crazy world. In a world where everyone is so boring, so be it. But yeah, it's my stain. Maybe. Maybe it's my stain. How dare I? Sarah, why didn't they use the Dragon Megatron for more collaborations? Because the Year of the Dragon figure stinks. Well, that's China's decision on that. I mean, we're gonna get a Cryotech for sure, and then we'll probably get a Beast Machines Megatron at some point. It's the problem with the Red Dragon, as you put it, is it's a leader class. And leader classes only have so many spaces that they could be put. Think about it. An entire run of a series, let's say United, you have 4 waves, maybe 3. And if you're going to have 2 leader classes a wave, and you got to also kind of put a filler in there just to buy yourself some time for engineering and design because there's just so much Transformer product being made, it's a tough one. It's a tough one, you know? Kiss Play would be fine if they didn't look like kids. Well, that's the Moe style, but they're technically all over 18. Atari is a high school student. In Japan, high school goes up to 19 years old in Japan. Xiao Xiao is over 18, and so is Marissa. Marissa's like 21. So everyone, but they look like kids because that's the Japanese style. Moe. If you don't know what Moe is, you know, instead of trying not to offend anyone, we should go back to offending everyone. Well, that's how I feel. As someone that grew up around anyone but white people, I don't like it when people tell how we should do things, you know? I was the minority growing up. Tucker, comedy would be dead if you didn't offend at least one person. Are you kidding me? There'd be like anyone who goes to a comedy show looking to get offended needs to leave. Needs to leave, you boring people. What a boring existence you must live if that's all that you concern yourself with. Rodimus, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm living with someone who is 41 years old and she looks damn well 20. Okay? I look like a 40-year-old. She looks like she's 20. She looks like I'm dating someone half my age. So, needless to say, oh, look, I'm not going to, because people are always like, oh, she should come on the live stream. I'm not going to subject her to that. Already people e-stalk me online and find photos of her and go, yeah, Proto Man's wife is hot. But it's like, look, they don't age, we do. That's how it is. That's how it is. They'll look 20 forever. Uh, P. Diddy. Good luck, P. Diddy, you whacking idiot. Let me tell you something. I didn't like P. Diddy back then because I always felt, and I used to hear this from my black friends, that he pretty much took advantage of Biggie Smalls' death to launch his career, you know? Where it's like he waited for Biggie to die to then take advantage of that. Oh, he was my best friend. Oh, I'm going to write a song about him. Every move I make. I'm going to rip off a song from the Police from Sting, you know? So I didn't like him back in the 90s because that's how he launched his career. And I didn't care afterwards. Let's go watch Blazing Saddles. Fantastic movie, by the way. David Cabal with the $2 super chat. What are you deep diving right now? Shows, games, etc. Um, what am I deep diving right now? A little bit because of Michael Koo. Michael Koo sent me these damn Thomas the Tank Engine Tomikas. So I've been kind of like diving back into looking at some old Thomas the Tank Engine episodes that I watched as a kid. Um, there's that. What else? What else? What else? That's a good question, David. That's a very good question. Um, I know that I'm going to be playing the new Transformer game when it shows up in the mail on Monday, so I'm definitely going to be diving deep into that. The Galactic Trials for the Nintendo Switch, which it debuted yesterday, I think it did. It didn't show up in the mail today, yesterday, so I was like, well, I don't get my Amazon until Monday, so that's where I ordered it from. I ordered it from Amazon. So definitely gonna, but yeah, like I blame Michael Koo because this is the most coolest thing ever. It's all die casts. I don't know. You have to understand, I grew up in a house with my father who was obsessed with the Beatles, and the BBC version, which was the Ringo Starr version, of Thomas the Tank Engine played on TV all the time here in Canada. And my father made sure I watched that because it had Ringo Starr. So I have a lot of, I mean, we had a train set, HO scale, amazing stuff. So just have a lot of nostalgia for train stuff, you know. I have so much like there's old home movies that I would love to one day just transfer over to digital and show you guys from my childhood. My old bedroom when I was like 5 with my Hot Wheels and my few Micromaster Transformers, and gosh, I would love to. It's so cringy. It's extremely cringy because it's like 5-year-old Proto Man, but you'll see like those early beginnings, me playing Nintendo, good stuff. I mean, if you want to check out my dad's toy collection, again, type Proto Man Father's Day Special. Just type that, and you'll see my dad's collection and all his die cast and crazy stuff. Trains, cars, planes, jets, all kinds of cool die casts. You'll see where the madness came from. T Forbers 2002. By the way, if I miss any questions, guys, please just repeat them because they're all just firing up like crazy. Oh yeah, Proto, finally took your anime recommendation to watch Golden Boy. How'd you like Golden Boy? Be honest. And did you watch the English dub? You have to watch the English dub version. The director of the anime, Tetsue Engawa, literally said the English dub is better than the sub. How only twice in all of anime history has the English dub by the creator has been better than the Japanese version. And that's Go Nagai for New Cutie Honey and Golden Boy. So, and I'm not going to argue with the creator of Golden Boy and the director of the anime. Uh, do they appear youthful? They do appear youthful for a long time. Indeed. Sarah says, so no Red Dragon, King Ghidorah. Yeah, man, like the Godzilla stuff, how did they not? And yeah, okay, King Ghidorah, you have to have multiple heads, so that'd be a lot of retooling. But talk about a missed opportunity, eh? Jeez, for sure. Look, I love Godzilla. Don't get me wrong, I love Godzilla. But like they talk about hit or miss with those Godzilla collaborations. Like, man, like I'm not feeling those at all. I find the Aaron Archer signal flare from Transformers Energon is more of a Godzilla collaboration than what we got. That's how sad that is. Lizard Sphere X, random question, Proto. Oh no, I'm gonna miss your question. One sec, Lizard Sphere, because everything's getting pushed up. Sorry, I had to use the other. I have two mouses because I have to use two screens. Random question, Proto, but are there any pieces of merchandise that you could see becoming a character a la Enemy? Oh, I know what you exactly mean. So people who don't know, Enemy was a radio head player, and then also a little micro radio player. It had two red frenzies on there. I have both of them in the merchandise section. Um, well, I always was wondering if ever they'll do Freezon and I think Solaron is the other one, which is the two Tycho race car track Transformers. Freezon was the one that looked like Frenzy, and then the other one, which is kind of got homaged, very weird deep cut. Transformers Prime Arms Micron smokescreen was colored and homage that Tycho RC one. It's very weird. It's a weird deep cut, but it's that too. So I did a post about it on Twitter years ago, and people were like, "Oh snap!" Um, but yeah, yes, and the English voice actor for Kintaro is still around from Golden Boy. He just doesn't really do much anymore. But he was a goat. He is amazing. He is one of the greatest dub voice actors of all time. Of all time. And that's saying a lot. No offense to Scott McNeil and David Kay and all the guys that did anime, but when the Japanese creators are going, "Who's that guy? That guy's amazing." You know that you've gotten goat status. Favorite girl in Golden Boy? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Are we going based on looks? Because some of their personalities are pretty vile. If we're going looks, then we have to go with obviously episode 5, Kimono Girl. Forget her name, the mistress, whatever you want to call her. BMO baby. Got to go with her. If we're talking personality, I guess episode 3. She's the most wholesome. Oh, episode 6 is good too. I think her name is Chi. Was the girl from episode 6. But yeah, got to go with that. Everyone has their own. If you like the tomboy look, obviously episode 4. Go see Golden Boy. Not safe for work. Not safe for work. Do not have your parents around. But go see Golden Boy. Dub. It's a 6-episode anime. One of the greatest of all time. Kintaro is my spirit animal. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Haven't watched Golden Boy in years. Yeah, it's great. I own the DVD box set of it. It's so good. So good. So good. Why lag? Why? At what point is it viable for Hasbro to redo, update a mold? I love the upgrade. The first Studio Series Bay Prime. Uh, wish we can see more of these upgrades often. Well, I mean, you have to understand something. Like, there's no rules with that. I mean, really think about it, right? Like, we had the Transformers Gigatron Megatron from Robots in Disguise 2000 2001, the 6 changer, or technically the 12 changer later for Devil Gigatron. We had that mold repainted 16 years later for BotCon. I'm looking at Boom Boom Boom. So like, I mean, if 16 years later a mold could still get repainted, you know, and retooled. It got retooled and repainted, excuse me. You know, I'm trying to think of another one that's like a huge gap. Like I'm pretty sure, to give an example, let's look at look at Studio Series 86 RC. That was that was Thrilling 30 RC retooled. So Studio Series 86 RC came out last year, was it? So that would be 2023. And then the the Thrilling 30 RC came out in 2013. So that was 10 years later and they repainted and retooled it. Actually, no, not 10 years later, but, math. But you know what I mean? Like a long period of time. So there's no rules with it. Uh, Swimming pool episode is great. Great episode. How do you like my swimming? uh, Trying to see. Eddie Murphy movie is The Golden Child. Oh, that's a different one. That's a completely different movie. Good. Also a funny movie. Also a good comedy, but it's not Golden Boy. It's not Golden Boy. Aaron Archer says the issue with long gaps between reissues is the costing changing much of it over the years. Uh, you need a special place like Bota. Well, yeah, what Aaron's talking about also is if you have a long period of time in between, and he is right though. So, like, let's say, because this is an issue, is when you have a mold that when it was a deluxe class back then, the amount of paint and plastic and how thick the plastic is, walling, as you like to call it, like how much plastic is used for a deluxe back then, as opposed to how much a deluxe would be today. So, like, I mean, if they reissued like the very first movie Bumblebee toy, like let's say the '09 Camaro that came out in '07, like the plastic issues that exist today are completely different. So they'd have to like change things up. So the Aaron's correct with that. Maybe they'd have to get rid of more decos. I mean, good example, the Beast Wars reissues. How they were able to balance the budget with those is a lot of times with those, they're missing 1 or 2 paint apps. Or in the case of the retracts, it's missing some of his legs. They actually didn't put all of his legs on it. So there was little things that they did to kind of save money. Little paint app missing here and there. Oh, we don't have to do red paint there. Okay. That saved us a couple cents. That goes a long way, you know. And those are toys like imagine you're reissuing toys that 25 years old in the case of some of them. So where are we at? Modutron, still hope for Nightbird from Earthrise RC maybe. I don't know if you unless they like do something with that if they retool that back end and make it a weapon that she could like float on, that's something unique. Yeah, Aaron Archer. Yesterday's prices are not today's prices. Oh, definitely not. Since 2020 inflation, definitely not. Definitely not. I was literally just having a conversation a few days ago talking to one of my friends about investments and how like, he saved a lot of money in the bank pre 2020 and all of that because he didn't invest in anything, he just let it sit. And well, here's a quote: banks see your money as an asset, their asset. And when you lend them money, they see the money that you gave them, that you deposit, as an asset. And if your asset goes down in value, that is not their problem. Always invest in any way you can. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. That's a whole other discussion, but always invest. Fight against inflation. You're more likely to buy a Transformer toy and it to be worth more money through inflation than money sitting in the bank. I'm not encouraging to waste all your money on Transformer toys, but I'm just saying, it's kind of sad when that is a better investment than leaving your money in the bank. Why lag why? That 86 RC would make a beautiful Nightbird. Yeah, it would. It would. I dig that. But I mean, at the same time, the Sakamoto one that we got from Transformers Legends is awesome. Mostly because it's an homage to something that I did many years ago. Thank you, Sakamoto-san. Um, Shockwave 75. I try to get more people to watch your channel, Proto. So many people don't get how the toy business works. Well, and that's the whole point of this channel is, it's something where, and again, I don't want to, no offense to any of the other Transformer podcasts, but they're just not doing what I'm doing. They're just not. And they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the expertise, they don't. The greatest, most amazing thing was going to San Diego Comic-Con and having Nate and Evan, especially Nate. Nate, shout out to you, Nate. I know you're watching. The guys who from Hasbro come up to me and go, "Oh, we listen to your stuff. We love what you do. You really know what you're talking about." Like that's fantastic. That's the gold stamp right there, in my opinion. When you have those guys, you know, say that they watch and that, it's nice to see somebody talk about the stuff properly instead of just whining and complaining and not understanding how the business works, you know? Speaking of gold, Sarah with the gold super chat. Thank you again, Sarah. He's asking Aaron, why did you make a perfect Voyager Optimus Prime first edition at your time and now they're selling the Voyager figures at Commander price point? Why did you decide to make it an exclusive? So, Aaron, what Sarah's asking is why were the Transformers Prime first edition toys exclusives, and why were they so good the first time around? Oh my God, Sarah, when those came out in Canada, there was Canadians that were literally like making money off of those things. BotCon 2012, I remember a whole bunch of Canadians came and all they had were just cases of the first edition stuff, and they were just crushing it. The Prime, the bulkhead at one point was like going for like $200. It was crazy, but the Prime, the Cliff Jumper, the RC, the Bumblebee, all of those. Aaron Archer says that's a long story without a good answer. We'll save that. Yeah, we'll save that for a future Toy Armada, perhaps. We'll save that for a future Toy Armada. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff coming out around that time, though. So, I mean, if anything, it was definitely a distribution thing. I mean, around that same time, you had the GDO stuff that was coming out. You still had Titaniums that was still kicking around in a small shape or form. Universe 1.0 was on his way out, and then you have Universe 2.0. There was still a little bit of alternators in the background there, here and there. Like, and then you got Masterpiece on the Japanese side of things with Takara. Like, there was so much. It was like a peak year, 2009, 2010. So much Transformer product. So much. David Cabal, also other TF or other toy channels won't talk about obscure anime or Thomas the Tank Engine. Well, that's true too. I love a lot of things. I'm sitting in a room filled with only Transformer toys and this and that on my desk here, but then I have a whole room just of miscellanea, you know. and then a whole room just of video game stuff. I mean, good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. It's all good business. Hasbro, maybe. Why lag why? Those first editions were my holy grails. Still have my prime and bulkhead. The bulkhead is, yeah, the bulkhead is, that one at one point was going for stupid money. Stupid money. Stupid money. Oh, yeah, we're almost done tonight, eh? Oh, we're almost done. We have technically 5 minutes left, and then we're completely done for the night. So get your super chats in, because then we're almost done. While we let the super chats roll, we'll give again a shout out to all my peeps. Let's see. Let's give to first, of course, Symbiote Studios again. Check out Symbiote Studios. Bam, bam. Check out symbiotestudios.com. Plush, pins, t-shirts, more stuff coming in the near future. Stay tuned for that. A lot of good stuff that's being worked on behind the scenes. Get a little Transformer Slag pin. I don't know how many are left on the store, but they're very cool. It's almost like a Lacoste pin, eh? That'd be cool. You get like a nice fancy shirt that has the Slag logo instead. That'd be cool. And then of course all their other stuff. And of course check out Toy Armada. Go check out Toy Armada. And I can't stress enough, go get those Posca paintings before they end up at TFCon Baltimore, because they will be bought. So get them while you can, guys, because that's going to be your last chance. It'll be your last chance, as well as the books and everything. Sarah with the super chat, so no reissue for first edition figures. Hasbro losing money, or the molds are. I think it's just they'd be too expensive. Like, think about it. A first edition Optimus Prime from Transformers Prime with the paint deco, with the vinyl sword, because it was like a rubbery vinyl sword. That would be something to be skirting into almost like the leader class pricing, because they did those reissues. They did the breakdown and the Megatron was the Arms Micron one, and that was way more than what its MSRP was back in the day. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Are people asking what did I eat? Here's the answer. This is actually her photo, not mine. There's what I was wearing today. I went for sushi today. We haven't went for sushi in a while, so here's that photo. That's her. That's from her shots. That's why the camera's better, because my camera's dog crap. I'm wearing a Subaru jacket, a Steve Ditko Spider-Man shirt, and I believe that's the spicy roll. We ordered like tons of stuff, but we took one photo quickly. If you notice that her soy sauce is extremely brown because she puts a ton of wasabi in it. I don't mess with wasabi. I just want to enjoy my food. So there you go. That's what I had today. Had that, and it was delicious. It was absolutely delicious. I eat so much sushi that usually I don't have to eat for the rest of the day. Like, it fills me so much, but I love it. And it has to be all you could eat. I can't go pay by the piece because I eat too much and it would get way too expensive. So I went for that. We haven't gone in a while, so we figured we'd treat ourselves. It's a long weekend here in Canada. So, like, just wanted to treat ourselves, have a really good lunch and everything. But that's what we had for lunch, and as a result, I'm still not kind of hungry. Like, we had a lot. We went at 12:30 and we probably stayed until 3. So then we did obviously food shopping and stuff and groceries and bought this and that. So I'm not even hungry now, and it's almost 10 o'clock. No, not 10 o'clock. Yeah, it's almost 10 o'clock here. So, because we ate so much, it just all that rice, all those carbs, all that, like, we have the fish, we have the okonomiyaki, not the okonomiyaki, the deep fried shrimps. Gosh, what are they called? Sandy's probably going to be yelling at me from upstairs. But yeah, we have all of that stuff too. So good. So good. Japanese barbecue is fantastic too. That's um that's what I went to eat with James Roberts and Ego Raptor when we went out to eat. We had what was it called there? Tempiyaki? I think it's called tempiyaki. That was some good stuff. The first time I had it was with them. I never had it before. Expensive. James Hobson, hey Proto, do you have the 86 Prime yet? No, I do not have it yet. Uh, it's one of those things that I'm just kind of waiting for a sale. Uh, Commander classes figures historically usually get a little bit of a dip. Even something as super tempora. Thank you, Timmy. Even as something as super in demand as that, I'll get it sooner or later. I'm in no rush. You have to understand, I have a lot of things that I collect, and I don't have a lot of money, so I really have to balance everything. It's like, oh, I really like Super Link, Missing Link, but I really like Masterpiece, but I really like these mainline figures, but I really like this, but I really like these guys, and these guys are like $26 each. So to get three of them, that's almost $100 after Canadian taxes and everything. But I really like this, but I really like that, but I really want to play this video game. I'm not rich. I'm just trying to get by, make some money, you know? So I have to balance it. So when there's certain things that I feel if I wait, a sale will come, 9 times out of 10 it happens. So it works out. But I mean, it looks cool. I think it's amazing. Do I want one? Of course, 200%. It's going to be the definitive Optimus outside of my masterpiece ones, you know? So what do you think for repaints of Studio Series 86 Optimus? Shattered Glass, 100%. Nemesis repaints. Those are the two that are going to be a shoe-in. After that, if they want to do, like crazy stuff, the Bape colors, the Ava colors, there's, the dead sleep mode Optimus colors. Right away, I just named like 5, which is more than any Commander class has ever had. What did they do with Jetfire? They did the one repaint. What did they do with Skylinks? What did they do with Rodimus? What did they do with Motormaster? Okay, it got a mild repaint through a box set. What did they do with Optimus so far? Armada? What are they going to do with Magmatron? Probably nothing. So to look at this commander and go, here's all the 17 repaints after a history of commanders that really didn't have a lot of repaints, but it's a G1 Optimus, so it probably will get a whole bunch of repaints. I mean, let's be real. For sure it's going to happen. Banana Prime. Well, Shining Optimus is more of an Ultra Magnus thing. It'll be a Shining Magnus in yellow. Sentinel repaint, yeah, that could be the yellow repaint too with orange cues. Now that we have that with Missing Link, that's true. That is true. Uh, well, Ultramax is going in the secondary market for sure, but you never know. Opportunities create themselves. The difference with me is I always look at eBay, I always look at forums, and I go to 3 different Transformer conventions a year minimum. Minimum. So sooner or later, someone's going to be trying to get something, they have bills to pay. They got to, and then I'll get an opportunity. I would buy masterpieces in the secondary market. Like there'd be guys like, hey, I have a car payment I have to pay. And yeah, I could ask full MSRP for this masterpiece Sound Blaster, but I could also ask 25% off. That's how I got my masterpiece Sound Blaster with little Rat Bat, you know? Opportunities present themselves. You just got to be patient. Otherwise, you'll just go poor. If they wait for a new big convoy, they could do Lucky Draw Magmatron and then a big convoy 2-pack or big black convoy or the big blue convoy or Ultra Mammoth, which is another really good one, or Bloody Tusks over there. So there's right away 6 different repaints, 6 different deco schemes. Plenty right there. And the last question we will be answering for the day, because we are done. Proto, you can have my Studio Series 86 Ultra Magnus, just buy me sushi. Well, that's a pretty fair trade-off because my all-you-can-eat sushi is only, I think it was only $37 Canadian. So in American currency, that would be like 25. So that's a pretty good trade-off. Come down to Montreal and I'll bring you to Hasso Sushi in downtown Montreal. And we'll go have some lunchtime sushi. And I get a Ultra Magnus out of it. Don't do that to yourself. You don't want to have sushi with me. You do not. Let's put it this way. There was way more on that plate. I just ate it all. Poor Sandy, that she has to deal with my shit. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you all for popping in. Thank you for all the great super chats from all the great people. Again, supporting the podcast any way you can. Once again, if you want to continue supporting the podcast, we have that Patreon link down below. That's probably the best way to support it. If Patreon, like I always say, isn't your thing, all those beautiful green names that were asking the questions this evening, do it through YouTube membership, which is that YouTube join button. So you have two ways to play. If you want to double dip, some people get both the YouTube membership and the Patreon, so they get Discord access. Again, we're going to have an exclusive reveal soon. So stay tuned for that for future live streams. Again, thank you for everyone who sent stuff in the P.O. boxes and everything. So that's really cool of you. Yeah, it's an awesome one. It's a great one. I'm going to go chill with my peeps at home. And you want poutine? I would love to take you to poutine. I'll take you to the best poutine you will ever have in your effing life. That's all I'm going to say, because you're going to have it here in Montreal. I'm out of here, people. Take care of everyone. Take care of your friends, your family, your loved ones. It's a beautiful world out there. Don't let politics, all this craziness, all the stupid stuff, all the social nuttiness that's going on in the world. When you go out your front door, you realize none of that really exists. Trust me, a lot of the stupid stuff you see on the internet is a 0.00001% of chance that you'll actually encounter in real life. Trust me. And I live in a big metropolitan city and I don't see that stuff. So enjoy it. It's a beautiful world out there, and you're all beautiful people. Don't listen to what David Cabal says. I'm not a beautiful man. Those days are behind me. Take care of yourself, guys. I'm out of here, and we'll talk to you on Monday and next week. Roll out.